Before I say anything else today, before I actually get into the main body of the commentary, I want you to look at the title. It looks like just like any other title that I would put for one of my Battlefield 4 videos, but I'm a little bit annoyed, and that's the reason why it's the title. It says Parachute Camo. That is what DICE gave the premium users as their latest exclusive feature in Battlefield 4. We now have the ability to put a camouflage on a parachute. That's not something that the player who's playing from first person can actually see. If they look up, they might be able to see it, but most of the time you're paying attention to what's on the ground. And do you really think, having paid £40, $50, €40, whatever you paid for premium, do you really think it's worthy of being a premium exclusive sort of upgrade for the game to have a camo on a parachute that you can't see 95% of the time? I don't think it's a worthy thing to have in the game, really. I don't think I would even pay to have that feature in the game. Sure, other people can see it, but I can't. So what difference does it make to the gameplay? Some of you might say, well, gun camos make absolutely no difference to how the game plays, and yeah, you're right. But I can see that all the time that I'm using the weapon. I can only see a parachute for maybe 10 seconds every round that I play of Battlefield 4, so what's the point of the camo? I don't know whose decision it was to put it in the game, but really, I don't think it's good enough to be a premium exclusive item. Honestly. So moving on from that, well, kind of moving on, but sticking with the same theme, today I want to talk about Battlefield 4 Premium, and whether you think it was actually good or not. Because I have some really strong feelings about the Premium program. I've been playing Battlefield for quite a while, and I've seen how DLCs have been going, and obviously I've gone from the free versions of DLCs all the way through to the really expensive versions that we've got now with these season passes. So I do have some opinions that I want to express, but I also want to find out what you guys think of the Premium service too. So to start off with, Premium, for me, costs 40 quid, which is about $50 or 40 euros, depending on where you live in the world, you'll pay a slightly different price. Now, on top of that, I also bought Battlefield 4 Digital Deluxe Edition, which I believe was $49.99 when I bought it. So all in all, I paid £90 for Battlefield 4, and I haven't purchased anything else. That's all I've bought for the game. So I have spent 90 quid on a AAA title that hasn't really lived up to its name. It's still been quite fun, and Battlefield is Battlefield, and if you like the game, you're going to stick with it. But I don't know if it was worth the £40 that I paid for it. And that's not for the content, because there is lots of it, and I think that was one of the good parts of Battlefield 4 Premium, but simply the way it was implemented, I don't really agree with. First of all, we have 5 map packs. So we have Second Assault, China Rising, Naval Strike, Dragon's Teeth, and still to be released, Final Stand. Now, straight off the bat, Second Assault should not have been included in Battlefield 4 Premium. I don't believe that it was worth it, and I don't believe that it was really good practice to include 4 maps that were in a game that we were only playing maybe 4 or 5 months before Battlefield 4 came out. I didn't like the way that there wasn't a huge amount of variation between the maps that we saw in Second Assault that were in Battlefield 3 and what they actually looked like in Battlefield 4. A lot of you might say that, well, the weapons that were in Premium were exactly the same as what were in Battlefield 3 Premium service, and maybe they are, but at the end of the day I'm always using those, and I like sticking with weapons. I like some sort of familiarity, but I don't like sort of paying for a map that's basically a carbon copy of one that I've already been playing for nearly 2 years. I just don't think it's really a very good practice to do that. Next up, China Rising omitted one of the main selling points of Battlefield 4. There was virtually no Levolution in that map pack, and I don't think the maps were really that good, with maybe the exception of Silk Road. It was basically there to serve as an all-out Battlefield map pack that you could have these massive open expanses so that you could play with all your vehicles that you wanted to play with. But it didn't really cater to any other sort of play style at all. It was mainly a vehicle-focused DLC, and it didn't really have the best map design in the world, and I didn't really like it. Naval Strike was delayed for PC by nearly 2 weeks, which was a massive inconvenience, but it was also put out for all the other platforms that the game was released for. And I think that was kind of unfair, really. Everybody should get access at the same time if you're a premium member. You pay for 2 weeks exclusivity, and the PC guys didn't get that over the rest of the people playing the game. I didn't think that was very fair. Moving on, Dragon's Teeth and Final Stand have shaped up to be very good DLCs, but I'd have to say that Dragon's Teeth wasn't the best because it was actually released before we got the big patch for Battlefield 4 that fixed a lot of the issues. So overall, it's still going to be a DLC that I wasn't 100% happy with, but it was a good DLC to have. Moving on a little bit further though, and just touching on a few more things, the Battle Pack system sounded like a really good idea at the start of Battlefield 4, and I think it is quite a good idea for that sort of longevity of unlocking things for all the different weapons that you might have access to. But in essence, you can unlock all of those things anyway, and I don't really see why it's so important to have this Battle Pack system, whereas you could just go through a normal unlock process. I just think it was another layer on top of... Well, basically the layer didn't need to be there. I could just have the normal unlock process and it would have been perfectly fine. And a little bit further on than that, there have been so many delayments in sort of exclusive items for premium members coming through, DICE developers not remembering, not deploying them properly, giving us a shoddy 3x scope for an M1911. I mean, some of these things really aren't worth the money that we actually paid for. I'd agree the DLCs were worth it, the weapons were worth it, but everything else on top just kind of feel like words. And so overall, premium's a pretty mixed bag for me. Have to say that the DLCs that came out were sort of hit and miss depending on whether I like the maps or not. The weapons were implemented really well. I didn't like the fact that one of the DLCs was delayed coming out for PC. The Battle Pack system was just a layer that didn't need to be there. The exclusive DLC weekends and all the XP weekends and all the releases that come along with Premium, the fact that they were never put into a full calendar and always came out later than they were scheduled, did annoy me a little bit. So I have to say it's probably not worth me paying the full £40 for it. If I'd paid £20, then I would probably be much more happier. Overall, I think it was a success, but it was too expensive for what it was. Just a quick one before I go, this is a sponsored message by one of my partners, Opinion Outpost. Basically, they're a survey company that pay you in gift cards and cash for your time and your opinions on loads of different topics like TVs, movies, politics, loads of different things. It's free to join. You can sign up as long as you're over the age of 18 and you can start earning yourself some money or gift cards. Once you've signed up, you can jump into your Gmail, check the promotions tab, and you can see lots of different messages from Opinion Outpost in there too. They'll also enter you into their $10,000 quarterly prize, which basically you can enter as many times as you like every time you do a survey. So you can have unlimited entries basically. The more you do, the more entries you get. There's a link in the description, so you can go and click that right now. It'll take you straight to their page where you can sign up and start earning yourself some money. Maybe a nice gift card for Christmas. But let me know what you think down in the comments section today. Do you think there's anything they could do to improve Premium? Leave me some comments today. I will try and read as many as I can. But thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you leave a rating. And comments are always appreciated. But until next time, my name is Westy. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.